at his curveball, and he will slow down bats to 79 miles per hour. In between, you've got that slider and changeup.
Well, 97 out of the gates for ball one to J.P. Crawford, who homered to begin the ball game last night. J.P. now riding an 11-game hitting streak. It's one game shy of matching a career best. He gets ahead 2-0. '97 on the corner. The Mariners have now won 8 consecutive series with their win last night. They've won 6 straight games. That's the longest winning streak early on this year. And Dan Wilson's Mariners have the best record in the league, as Crawford can't believe that was a fair ball. He's inside the batter's box still. It is ruled fair, and he is out number 1.
JP clearly thought this was going to be ruled foul, and with his bat in the batter's box.
And that is not a reviewable play. As you can see, JP having a conversation with the home plate umpire there before he walks back to the dugout. 1 away. Here's Jorge Polanco. Polanco had the pinch hit double in last night's game that eventually came home to score the winning run. Batting .395 this season, 9 home runs. Tries to hold up and cannot. Now Polanco had one of the 2 home runs off of DeGrom the last time Jacob DeGrom faced the Mariners. That was back in Seattle. Ball and 2 strikes. Mariners have now won 16 of their last 20, and in that stretch they lead the majors in runs per game. And Polanco a big part of that. Strike 3 called at the knees. There's the breaking ball from DeGrom. 2 outs.
That slider has been such an effective pitch for him this season. Really, in the past, opponents hitting just 150 against it. And you saw that curveball that he started off JP with, and he also started off Polanco with that curveball as well. It's so slow, 79 miles per hour, and then he just kind of speeds you up with everything else.
So 2 up and 2 down. Julio goes after the first pitch. Last night, Julio saw his 17-game on-base streak come to a close. Did homer in game 1. Now 5 home runs on the season. Once again, batting third today for the Mariners. Well, the Mariners last saw DeGrom. It was just his 3rd start of the year. The Mariners chased him pretty early in that game. He went only 4 innings. .98, just off the plate, 2 balls and a strike.
98, that would be the fastest pitch that he has thrown this season. 97.4 was his season high, and he got that one in last game against the A's.
Yeah, we're probably not going to see the 100, 101, 102 miles an hour that we saw from DeGrom in his real heyday when he was winning Cy Youngs with the Mets, but he can still rush it up there. There's no question. Coming off 6 scoreless against the Athletics, he has been a master of command his last few times out. Just 1 walk compared to 20 strikeouts his last 3 starts. And a full count here. Now Julio striking out at essentially league average, walking a little bit above. Trying to get on base for that man, Cal Raleigh. Ground ball deep in the hole to shortstop. Seager is there today. Throw is up the line and not in time. Julio beats it out. Bruce Bochy wants to know if he should challenge this, but as it stands, it's an infield base hit.
Corey Seager's margin for error with Julio running is so small, and this throw up the line towards right field, if he would have been able to throw that on the infield versus on the backside of first base, I think he would have got him.
That puts a man aboard for Cal Raleigh. A multi-homer game for Cal in game one, including a grand slam. He drove in the first 5 runs for the Mariners in that game. 97-mile-an-hour paint for strike one.
You mentioned his numbers against Texas, and they really at this point are just gaudy. He is also the first catcher to have 12 home runs through the first 32 games since Johnny Bench in '71.
Been an amazing start. Now this is a team so far this year that's really been defined by walks and home runs. They're one of the best home run hitting teams in baseball, and Cal Raleigh and Jorge Polanco a major reason why. Cal leading all major leaguers with 12 homers.
And no, they haven't all been hit against the Texas Rangers. Just 5.
5 home runs in as many games for Cal Raleigh against Texas this year. The 0-2. Popped up, first base side. Let's see who's looking up to the sun for this one. Heim makes the catch with his sunglasses on. And the Rangers catcher makes the squeeze for round number 3. Julio stranded. We go to the bottom of the first. Logan Evans getting set to start his second big. Rangers will have 4 left-handed hitters in there to face Logan Evans. One is right away at the top, and Josh Smith, who's been swinging the bat well for the Rangers. Wyatt Langford also 6 home runs and good speed when he gets aboard in left field. Corey Seager, his second game back off the injured list. He DH'd last night. We've already seen him out there at shortstop. That hamstring feeling much better. Jock Peterson, meanwhile, has dropped below 100. He's batting .099. Free agent addition for the Rangers, trying desperately to get things turned around, as is this Rangers lineup. Logan Evans coming off his major league debut. He went 5 innings at home last Sunday against the Marlins. And
in the process, the 9th pitcher in Mariners history to allow 2 or fewer hits with 5 or more innings of work in his debut.
This is hit on the button out to center field as Julio cuts it off quickly and holds Smith to a single. Leadoff man aboard. It is a fairly diverse arsenal for Logan Evans. We know that already.
Oh, we just saw the sinker. His cutter runs hard away from the right-handed batters, in on lefties, sort of like a slider. He throws his 2-seamer quite a bit, but he can certainly spin it, Aaron. His sweeper is really good. It's not a big bending sweeper. It's similar to Matt Brash's. It kind of catches when it gets close to the plate and really takes off.
Keeping an eye on Smith over there. 4 stolen bases in 5 tries. Evans making his first road start in the majors. Now facing Wyatt Langford. Now the Rangers are desperately trying to turn things around offensively. As we talked about some last night, the top of the order for the Rangers is hitting well. Langford is a part of that, batting close to 300 early on this year. Evans ahead 0-2. Fly ball out to Julio, routinely hit. He jogs in and will make the catch. There's out number 1. 1 out and 1 aboard for Corey Seager. Rangers are trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. They've scored all of 3 runs in those 4 games combined. Swing it away, a big swing and a miss from Corey Seager.
Corey Seager rarely sees a first pitch that he doesn't like.
The most aggressive first pitch swinger in the game. Back-to-back sweepers to Seager. Been a little bit of time on the injured list with a hamstring. Now, the Rangers haven't had Seager and Langford in the lineup much at all together this year, so they're hopeful that that will help to turn things around for them. 3 straight breaking balls to Corey Seager.
I like that sequencing, the sweeper, and then he threw him a curveball on that last pitch, because I was getting worried. You know, Corey is the type of hitter lulls you to sleep and think, okay, a couple of off-speed pitches, now I can blow the fastball by him, and
This kicks away Smith, off and running, a long throw, and it's not there in time. Smith in scoring position.
This is a curveball in the dirt, and instead of dropping down right in front of Cal Raleigh, he gets it off the chest protector, but it kicks off to the left.
Cal was set up outside and misses just a touch wide, 2-2. Evans pitched well in his major league debut last Sunday at home against the Marlins. 2 runs over 5 innings. Top 10 prospect for the Mariners this year. This is a fair ball and a little flip to Evans covering the bag. There's out number 2, a dangerous batter retired as Smith advances into third base.
This is a lot like JP's, although Corey Seager getting himself out of the box.
Pretty close, but clearly fair.
Yep.
So 2 down and a man at third base for Jock Peterson. Back to his normal DH role tonight, or this afternoon rather. There's first pitch strike. Evans trying to work around a leadoff single by Josh Smith. He's at third. And the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Mariners are trying to sweep the Rangers for the second time this year. They're 5-0 against Texas. They swept them on an earlier homestand this season. In fact, you look at the Mariners' run of winning 16 of their last 20 games. 5 of those wins, 5 of the 16 have come at the expense of the Rangers. Into center field, doesn't hang up enough. Julio glides over, skips, and makes the catch. And there is out number 3. And Logan Evans does work around that leadoff single. He strands him at third base. Today's KeyBank key stats. We're looking at Mariners hitting coach Kevin Seitzer. His lineup for the first time since 2018 has posted back-to-back games of 3 strikeouts or fewer. Interestingly enough, the last time it happened was right here in Arlington, August of 2018. Randy Arozarena leads it off. Mariners right now are essentially league average at strikeout rate. It's been a pretty impressive turnaround from last year. I mean, really, the Mariners have done 2 things that typically work against each other. They have made more contact while also significantly increasing their ability to hit for power. They're doing that at a much greater rate than they did last season. Normally, if you're going to strike out less and make more contact, you will, in theory, lose power, right? And that hasn't happened. It's been just the reverse. 2-2.
And back-to-back 3 strikeout games is really impressive in this day and age. It's never been harder than it is right now in the game to hit. And with everybody coming out of the bullpen throwing 98, there's so much swing and miss in the game.
Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Arozarena. A 27-game on-base streak. He extended that last night. He was aboard twice. Works the count full.
You're talking about the decrease in strikeouts, that they've just been so patient in finding ways to get on. Randy himself has got a .414 on-base percentage over his last 14 games. If he's not hitting, he's walking.
Pulls this on the ground over to Young off the bag at third. Ford gets there in time for out number 1. To the Ford Sports Desk, Brad, how you doing?
Aaron, I'm doing fine. I'm in the shade now, so we're all good down here, which is a good thing. The Mariners have had such good success against frontline starters this year, in part because they don't do anything different. Doesn't matter to them who's on the mound. It's the same approach. It's been a winning approach, as we've seen. Talked with Dan Wilson pregame, and he said DeGrom's a guy that wants you to chase a little bit, but they're not chasing. They're working counts. They're walking, and that, of course, is the recipe for success. not just against number one guys, but against anybody. And we've seen that over the last 20, 25 games. It's just really working well, same approach, being consistent, and it's been successful.
It really has. They have had an incredible start to this year offensively, as Rowdy Tellez is at the plate now. 1 out, nobody on. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rowdy had the pinch hit RBI base hit, the go-ahead knock in the 9th inning last night. You know, the Mariners this year, one thing that they've been sneaky really good at, and it's kind of along the lines of what Brad was touching on there, they have not allowed opposing starters to get deep into games.
Again, the 4 innings that DeGrom threw against the Mariners in his last outing against them was his shortest outing of the season. One thing to keep an eye out on, I've been noticing, Aaron, every single lefty so far in the lineup, DeGrom has started them out with the curveball. It'll be interesting to see if they go up there hunting that.
Here comes the 1-2. Kind of flicks this on the ground. Young was lined up in the right spot. A low throw, and it's handled over there by Krim, the rookie. Yeah, if you look at it this year, only one time, believe it or not, this is game number 33. Only one time in the first 32 games has an opposing starting pitcher been able to get 7 innings complete against the Mariners. I mean, it's been amazing. And that ranks best in baseball, tied alongside the Braves and the Twins.
And I can't help but think, Aaron, when you tell me that, is like this was sort of the focus of last year's team, is they were really trying to take a lot of pitches and really grind that starting pitcher's pitch count, and it just wasn't effective.
Yeah, the funny thing last year is that they were able to do that a lot of times.
Just a ton of strikeouts, though, and
but it never ended with anything positive in terms of the run production, right? The Mariners did see a lot of pitches last year, but it didn't yield a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Two balls and a strike, and it's one of those stats that it's easy to look at and say, wow, that one hitter or that one team, they see so many pitches, which is a good thing, but it's only really good if it can lead to runs, right? I mean, that's the whole point of the game. And now this year, the Mariners are kind of getting the best of both worlds in that regard. They are grinding down starting pitchers. They are getting leads early. And they're not having to see the leverage relievers on the other end more times than not. Full count to Mastrobuoni. You would never guess the one opposing starting pitcher the Mariners have faced that actually went 7 innings. I did not guess it. It was Hayden Wisniewski of the Astros.
We could have been here for days.
Exactly.
We could have been here for days. Broken clocks right twice a day.
Here's the 3-2. Sharply hit, but right to Semien at second base. Side retired in order. 3 ground ball outs from Jacob DeGrom. Field coverage since April 16th. The Mariners the 3rd best fielding percentage in baseball. Here's Marcus Semien, who takes outside, just the 4 errors. I think when you look at the Mariners defense this year, it's kind of similar to last year in some regards, and that is the Mariners, when we focus specifically on the errors here. 1 ball and 1 strike. And let's face it, errors, whether a lot of them or not many of them, not always the best way to simply judge a defense, but it can be a good starting point. The Mariners pride themselves on making the plays in the box, right? Making the plays that they should make. It's something that Perry Hill has harped since day one. And while this might not be the rangiest defense in baseball, I think the Mariners have proven for quite some time now that they are very fundamental when it comes to their abilities, and they make the plays they should. And the infield defense, with some personnel changes, has been much better than what we thought it would be early on this year.
Yeah, Ben Williamson is as good as advertised, if not better, and he really shows you, the impact that just one player can have on the infield. He's out there stealing hits, stealing outs, helping his starting pitchers pitch count, the bullpens as well.
A fastball puts Marcus Semien away. Good start for Logan Evans. He retires the first man to begin the bottom of the second.
Logan's sinker just has so much sink on it. I mean, the two-seamer, it just falls off the table.
Ball 1-2, Jonah Heim. Now, Logan Evans has really become a fabulous story. He was not someone who had a glamorous college career. He was a four-year pitcher in college. He was a part of two different programs. He first started at Penn State, spent 2 years there, then 2 years at Pitt. And there was a lot of innings, a pretty large sample size on Logan Evans, and the numbers were not impressive. It was an ERA that was pushing 7 in college over those 4 years. Well, the Mariners liked a couple of things in particular about Logan Evans. They loved how he could spin a baseball. It's something he's always naturally been able to do. His 1-2 to Heim. And they also liked how he could command his off-speed pitches. And once they drafted him, they tweaked a couple of grips for him. They also got him throwing a little bit harder. And he turned into a real prospect. Last 2 seasons, including this year in spring training, he started the breakout game, that really fun prospect-driven game that Major League Baseball started a couple of years ago across both the Grapefruit League and the Cactus League. And has really come into his own. Kind of golfed out to the gap in left center field. Julio's been busy, lost his hat. A jet stream out there. Feels like we're at the old ballpark. There's out number 2.
Covers a lot of ground. He's got the sunglasses on, so you can't pull your hat down quite as far. I'll go back and pick that up. But you were talking about Logan and how his ERA in college was a bit elevated. 12th round pick, but you look at where he is now. He is the lowest draft pick from his class so far to reach the majors.
Oh boy, what happened there? Yikes. Did Cal Raleigh lose this?
I wonder if it's just crossed up. I mean, he must have thought he called something with the pitch comm.
Glad he's all right. Didn't hit him right there in the shoulder or chest someplace.
I mean, it's just not something you see happen anymore with the pitch comm, is that the catcher gets crossed up, but that's what it looked like it happened.
Liner into right center field off the bat of Adolis Garcia. A 2-out base hit. A Mother's Day weekend is almost here. You can treat mom to a fun day of Mariners baseball during the team's 3-game series at T-Mobile Park. Blue Jays will be in town Friday, May 9th to Sunday, the 11th. Mariners.com/tickets. Two outs and a man on for Josh Young.
One thing that was really impressive in that first inning, first pitch of the game, Josh Smith singles to lead off the game, and then all of a sudden he just sort of locks it down from there. Really impressive to allow that leadoff single, and he gives you an idea of his mental makeup to be able to rebound from that right away.
He gets ahead of Young, batting 8th. It's 0-2. A big break for Garcia. Throw to Tellez. Now down to second. Tag by Rivas, and they got him at second base. Now Adolis Garcia runs into the final out of the inning. He's hanging around hoping that the Rangers can challenge this. They will not. Scoreless after 2. Jay Buhner joins us next. We are scoreless beginning the top of the third. Aaron Goldsmith, Angie Mentink, and Mariners Hall of Famer Jay Buhner's with us once again today. Bone, good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
You pulled some strings and got the roof opened up again, I see.
Yeah, this is pretty nice this time of year in Texas. 75 degrees instead of a million. And it's the way that this stadium, you guys got to admit, this stadium is completely different when the roof's open.
Ben Williamson starting the inning off for the Mariners. Guys this into right field. Garcia is there for number 1.
Yeah, as much as, you know, you can turn on all the lights you want to in the world,
Yeah.
when the roof's closed, it's just dark in here.
It is. And, you know, it's hard to get all those lights. You get hot lights not lined up properly. This is the way it's supposed to be played right here. We might actually see somebody lose a ball to the sun today, which is great. It's the way
I was
it should
actually
be.
impressed with Jonah Heim.
Behind on the
yeah.
pop-up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you could tell he's using his offhand to try to block it, and luckily it came out for him. So, yeah, this is awesome. This doesn't happen very often in this great state of Texas, and this is beautiful. This really gives you an idea how awesome this stadium is.
Here is Leo Rivas. Now the players love this ballpark. They love the facilities for the visitors here. Very spacious. Not nearly as cramped as some older ballparks. They definitely took that into consideration when they built it. Right across the street from the old ballpark. 97 upstairs, nothing in 2.
Lots to do around here, too.
There we go, right across the street. Former home of the Rangers. You know, this ballpark's unique because it's kind of subterranean. It's built down beneath street level. So as you look out there, you're actually, if you're in the equivalent of the kind of the 200 level, if you were back at T-Mobile Park, that's the street level here. I mean, you can see a car right there above the 200 level.
That's why they thought when they put the press level here that it wasn't really going to be that high. They were like, oh, you're only like 75 feet above street level.
Yeah, so this ballpark's kind of dug into the ground. It's kind of a unique field because of that. Very vertical ballpark, built straight up.
I've heard that's part of the reason why it has to be AstroTurf, too, is they went too far down to grow grass, supposedly. That's what a couple of people were saying. I don't know about that one. When it's shut, what, 98% of the time?
That might be part of it, too.
Yeah. And they did that in Arizona, right?
Turf there as well. This is bouncing softly up the first base line and goes foul. You know, this ballpark, it's interesting. If you look at StatCast park factors, now remember, these numbers are not the actual numbers of runs, hits, doubles, and homers. This is their park factor. So 100 is league average. Important to remember, this is kind of like on a WRC plus scale. So it's basically a league average ballpark in total offense with the runs and hits. It is a little below average in doubles. It can take some of those away, but home runs, it's in the top 5, 115, so 15% above league average in that regard. There are some short fences out here. It's a great home run robbing ballpark because of that, especially in front of the bullpens out of left and right center field.
We looked at this yesterday, though, with the roof open, and the average length of the home runs hit when the roof is open actually goes a little bit further under the blue skies.
Well, I think it had a factor in the leadoff home run last night by JP, because that ball kept carrying and carrying and carrying.
You don't realize it, you know, when it's JP to lead off the game, just how critical that run is. I mean, the Mariners have been playing some pretty lopsided games, not last night.
Well, this will be at least a 10-pitch at-bat from Leo Rivas.
He's famous for that now, isn't he?
And Mariners
it's
have
amazing.
Cal Raleigh's had 3 10-pitch at-bats that come to mind this year. The Mariners just had, I think it was Crawford the other day had one as well.
The bottom of the order has been so impressive for the Mariners.
And it's been one of the best in baseball.
Yeah, it's unreal.
This is right past Corey Seager. What an at-bat by Leo Rivas. A 10-pitch AB, and it's paid off with a single.
And this really is a mindset that the Mariners have. It's like, listen, you might win this, but I'm going to take a piece of you with me, and it's Leo that ends up winning this at bat.
And Jacob's like, what a pest. I watched this yesterday. That's the track record on this guy. I mean, he has been amazing.
Time called at first base. Rivas has to tighten up those shoelaces after fouling all those pitches off. You know, amazingly, Rivas's on-base percentage entering last night's game was .500, and it went up 12 points after last night.
Well,
Right, Crawford.
Get that shoe tied, because EY Jr. over there is going to definitely have him at some point trying to get the second, I would assume.
Now, DeGrom has allowed 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts. There goes Rivas. Pitch up and in. Himes throw. Tag applied. He's safe.
Oh boy. Heim made a heck of a throw right there. I thought he had that stolen easy. Good thing it was up.
Yeah, this fastball went up and into J.P. Crawford. I think it just ended up costing him a little time on the transfer.
Seager wore that a little bit too.
Glad
into
he's
the
all right.
shin.
He just came off the injured list.
We had JP get stepped on last night for us at shortstop.
Runner at second base, 1 out. Ground ball. Seager has to circle around it. He's got no throw, and the Mariners have him on the corners. J.P. Crawford has now just matched a career best. It's a 12-game hitting streak.
Good things happen when you put the ball in play, move it forward, baby.
What is this, 45, maybe 50 miles per hour off the bat?
Who cares?
Exactly. But Corey Seager playing up the middle and right by second base has just got too far to go.
The shift got him.
Now, Mariners in good position here. They've got Polanco at the plate with runners on the corners and 1 out. Second time through the order for DeGrom. There goes J.P. Crawford. Ground ball over to second base. Simeon to first. There's out number 2, but it brings home a run. Now the Mariners lead early 1-0.
Get them over, get them in. That's been the winning track record for the Mariners lately.
I love Dan putting the game in motion here, going on the pitch with runners on first and third, and put the ball in play, get yourself a run.
Ball 1-2 Julio. Well, the Mariners offense has no doubt been driven by home runs and walks this year, but you were talking earlier about the bottom of the order. It has been so instrumental putting men aboard for the top of the order, especially when you think about all the home runs the Mariners have hit from the top of the order, specifically Cal Raleigh and Jorge Polanco. The bottom 3 in the order this year, no matter who's been in there, but just batters 7, 8, 9 for the Mariners. The second best on base percentage in baseball.
And you just said it. No matter who they are, it's been next man up mentality. That's what's amazing.
A lot of that's been J.P. Crawford until just recently.
Yeah. He got hot, and now what's he doing? Now he's leading off.
3-0 count to Julio.
We keep talking about all the little things that the Mariners are doing, and we just talked about Jorge Polanco putting the ball in play, but you go back to Leo Rivas and his ability to get 90 feet with that stolen base, get to third on J.P. Crawford's infield single, and that's what allows the Jorge Polanco RBI.
That's called a strike.
That's generous.
Fastball off the plate. EQC tracer shows it.
See if Cal says, okay, our guy wants that too.
And there is ball 4.
That's Boyd, great take.
Julio reaching for the second time.
I love it. They're taking their walks too.
Now consider this. The last 3 starts for Jacob DeGrom, just 1 walk to 20 strikeouts. Okay, Bone, call it. What's it going to be?
2 hands?
You
I don't know. Veteran, he might not
you
want
can't go.
him to touch you.
1,
He'd be like, don't touch me.
Wow. I think Mad Dog knows that we're in town. He's going off script for the scouting report. A lot of.
Oh, he's got one.
But he's been very catcher touchy in this series.
Oh, he came out straight to one on Jonah, one on Jacob.
I mean, if I was Heim, I'd panic a little bit about that.
And the pat, too.
I tell you, he's been a heck of a pitching coach. He's been around a long
Yes, he
time.
has.
He's had a nice career doing it, highly regarded and respected. Got a nice jog back to the bench. Don't laugh,
No,
man. I mean, it's hard when you get old, baby. We see it with Boats trying to go out there sometimes. I feel for him. Oh, my goodness.
Well, the last guy the Rangers want to see right now, Cal Raleigh with 2 men on base. He was on base 3 times last night, including a double. Boy, close takedown of that.
Good eye.
Cal right now 7th in baseball in OPS. He's 3rd in slugging, and he leads the majors in home runs. He has truly been one of the game's most potent hitters so far this year.
I just love it. The Mariners are just making DeGrom work. He's a strikeout pitcher. He's used to guys swinging at that. And the Mariners are just spitting on it.
And against the
come
call. 3 straight sliders to Cal Raleigh. It could be 3-0. Instead, it's 2-1. And Cal's got a word or two for the home plate umpire.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of Mariner fans in here because I heard a lot of booing on that. Mariners are traveling well right now. That was good. Late life right there.
You see that slider at 89, and then all of a sudden he comes back with his fastball at 97. Just ties you up.
2 outs, 2 on. Crawford at second, Julio at first base. On a 2-2. Now DeGrom already over 60 pitches.
See him score from first right here.
Here he comes to Cal. Jammed him, popped him up. Heim off with the mask, and this will be at least a 7-pitch AB for Cal Raleigh. An inning that has featured a 10-pitch at bat by the Mariners. Leo Rivas, who singled and scored. He walked him. That was the 28th pitch this inning from DeGrom, who again had walked 1 batter over his last 3 starts. He has now walked the last 2 Mariner hitters.
We talked about another great AB. He's got his pitch count already up to 63. Anytime you can get this guy out of the game, get into the bullpen, that's a win-win.
Bullpen starting to move around a little bit. Bags are packed here for Arozarena. Fastball up and away for strike 1. Now the Mariners have already won this inning, right? Between the run scored and the pitch count that's been driven up by DeGrom, but they're looking for a little bit more here now. On the ground, left side, Young snares it over to second for round number 3. The Mariners leave him loaded. They make DeGrom really work. About a 30-pitch inning. The Mariners lead it 1-0. Happy May 4th to all who celebrate. Mariners lead it 1-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Stormtroopers got moves. Got rhythm.
Well, they're happy it's not August right now. Josh Young leads it off. Young third baseman for the Rangers. Evans able to face the minimum in the 2nd. This is a rocket out to left field. Rosarena able to get there and keep his feet. That ball was tagged 108 off the bat from Young. A hard out.
Mariners outfield can cover some ground, can't they?
And again, we
It's
talked
amazing.
about this. It's just the tail on that. Because if you're left-handed, you're hitting that into left field, and it's going to tail towards the line. If you're right-handed, it's going to be hooking, but it's always going to move down the line. So, I mean, that play right there down the line, even harder than it looks.
No room for error either.
No.
Miss that. They're going to keep on running.
Here's Blaine Krim. He made his major league debut in game 1. The Rangers optioned down Jake Berger before this series began. Krim was called up.
We were talking about Logan Evans being here in the 12th round as far as a pitcher. I mean, I don't imagine that Blaine Krim ever thought that he probably was going to be here when he's playing in college and drafted in the 19th round. But every single level, he just continues to hit.
Able to draw a 1-out walk to the Ford Sports Desk and Brad.
Well, Aaron, that last at-bat by Leo Rivas was just a perfect illustration of what he's all about at the plate. Talking with Dan Wilson pregame, Dan said when he gets to 2 strikes, he actually relaxes. He's very comfortable with 2 strikes. He'll foul off pitch after pitch till he gets one that he can put in play, as we saw on that 10th pitch from DeGrom, a single to left field. This one's got a chance, but JP's going back.
It drops in between. A bare hand play by Rosarena, but the throw down in time. Smith, 2 for 2. Soft fly ball finds some fake grass out there and left.
I think JP was probably the only one that had a chance at this, but at some point, Randy's got to make a call, and I think he said,
Yeah,
all right, I got it.
I think that kind of got no man's land. I got it, you take it. The last thing you want to see, though, is a yard sale out there. So
Randy did a nice play, though, bare-handing it and trying to get it into second to get the force.
1 out and 2 on for Wyatt Langford. Starts him off strike 1. Langford flew out to center field his last time up. Logan Evans making his 2nd career start. On the ground sharply, third base. Williamson has a clank off his glove. He recovers. Everybody is safe. Now the bases are loaded.
ball's hit hard. In between hop, he had tried to backhand rake it as best he can. And I like the fact that he just ate it. Didn't try to force the issue. Just eat it. Minimize the damage. Hopefully right here you can get a double play again. Get him out of the end.
Yeah, keeps it on the infield, though, and saves a run.
Goes down as an error at third base. So the bases are loaded, 1 out. Well, we know Evans has that great two-seam fastball, throws that a lot. 1 pitch away from getting off the field here, but facing Corey Seager. Well, if you're the Rangers right now, you are just salivating at the chance to actually do something offensively. You've got the right guy at the plate in Seager. Nothing and 1. Sharply hit past Rivas into right field. Krim comes in to score. Here comes Smith, a headlong slide. He scores, and the Rangers have taken a 2-1 lead.
Corey Seager reminds you just why he's such a dangerous hitter, looking for anything middle in to pull and gets one through the right side.
And finally giving the Ranger fans something to cheer about. They've been pretty quiet the last couple of games.
That's their first lead this series. Here's Jock Peterson. 2-0. This has been a Rangers offense starving for runs. Last in baseball in runs per game this year. Mariners have been one of the very best.
Rowdy Tellez starts on the bag, but you'll see he takes several steps off, and the mindset of where he ends up is that if he gets a throw from Evans, that he can just tag Corey Seager's feet. Doesn't need to get the hand at the bag. But with replay nowadays, if you get the feet before the hand gets in there, you've got him.
Two. Fights this off. Crawford is able to make the catch. And, oh, man, if you are Jock Peterson, what are you thinking right now?
I don't know, especially after that last call on him. He got a pitcher's call against him. He cannot buy it at the guy.
I mean, he is just absolutely dejected walking back to the dugout after that at-bat. And a really nice job. No wasted steps there by J.P. Crawford to make that catch.
Now, Peterson, who had a hit robbed in game one on that spectacular diving catch in short left field by Ben Williamson. Peterson, who's batting under 100 this year.
That's not a typo.
Here's Semien. This is into left field for a base hit. Langford scores. The Rangers have scored as many runs this inning as their last 4 games combined. They lead 3-1.
We've seen his sweeper sort of end up belt high a lot today. You know, you're used to seeing a little bit more depth on that pitch and seeing that finish below the zone, but not today.
I can almost guarantee you he was up there sitting on that sweeper, especially looking up, get it up, just based on that whole approach right there. Veteran hitter, he'll buy in, sit on it the whole AB, knowing he's going to get it. A guy's throwing 92 tops, 2-seamer. Something says. At least I would be.
2 outs and 2 on for Jonah Heim. Pitch inning for the rookie Logan Evans. Seager at second, Semien at first base. A close miss there to make it 3-0. Four-pitch walk and the bases are loaded again. Pete Woodworth is on his way out.
He's just got such a great command of his breaking balls and his off speed, especially to the glove side, but he really needs to have that same conviction in his fastballs that he has in his breaking balls.
Good timing right here. Go out, settle the kid down, young kid. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Take a deep breath.
That's a long inning with a lot of stressful pitches.
One pitch away. Looks like the bullpen. Yeah, maybe not. But
he's only at 53 pitches.
yeah.
Maybe Vargas just getting a little antsy out there. Just moving around. Critical for Evans to keep it close here. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and the first pitch to Garcia. Missing with a couple of fastballs, 2-0.
Again, I was talking about the need to have that conviction with his fastballs.
Able to get one there on the corner. So 3 straight heaters to Garcia.
Oh, paint. Nothing worse than that as a hitter. You go from 2-0 to 2-2 on 2 paints, and you're like, my gosh, I was in the rocking chair.
Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Seager is in. Simeon races home. 2 more across for Texas. They've opened things up. It's a 5-run inning here in the 3rd.
Well, you've seen Cal and Logan Evans kind of move away from his sweeper and his curveball, a lot of his off speed, and really trying to, lean on the fastball. He goes with the 4-seamer and Adolis Garcia.
You see what it was supposed to be right there. It was supposed to be a fastball up, and he missed his location. And with that guy at the plate, he's not going to usually miss a dead red down the middle.
Young fouls it away for strike 1. He led this inning off. So 10th batter this frame for the Rangers. And they're threatening for more runners on the corners. 3 runs have come in with 2 outs. Jammed him a little bit, but he fights it off for a base hit into left field. And it's a 6-1 Rangers lead as Heim scores.
Boy, what a job of pulling your hands through right there. That ball's 2 balls in.
It goes to show you about the velocity. 93, to be able to get to that. 95, that becomes a lot harder to get to, but at 93, he can yank his hands in and get to it.
Strike 1 to Krim. Now the bullpen beginning to move around for Rio. Casey Legumina is loosening. First and second, 2 outs. Evans gets him to 2 strikes. A couple of rookies facing each other here. And he got him. Chasing off the plate. Krim strikes out. Evans frustrated. 6 runs for the Rangers in the 3rd. They've taken the lead. Yankees are coming to town the next homestand. Yankees and Blue Jays, in fact, May 12th to the 14th. Mariners.com/tickets. Rowdy Tellez leads it off.
But that'll be a busy stand right there with the Yankees. Everybody wants to see Aaron Judge, don't they?
He is. It's him and everybody else right now in baseball. Called a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike to Tellez, leading things off in the 4th. Mariners don't have to get all 5 runs back here, but they'd like to chip away a little bit. They made DeGrom throw 30 pitches last inning. This is one of the stranger shadows you'll see in any big league ballpark. Tellez into shallow center field. Will it touchdown? Wow. Corey Seager with a basket catch over the shoulder. That's impressive.
Made that look easy, didn't he? And they got out of his way, too. They were not going to run into him.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. Kind of takes a little bit of a banana route to this one. Drops glove side and ends up catching it.
Ho-hum.
Yep.
Man. 1 down for Mastroboni. Drops the bunt down. Young with the bare hand onto first in time. Now some tremendous defense by the Rangers here in the 4th inning.
Another guy makes it look easy. That is not that easy, especially borderline on that shadow. And then to make a strong throw. Plays a good hot corner over there.
Yeah, you're coming in full speed. All your momentum is going towards home plate, and square your shoulders up to your target at first base and make a good throw. Easy to say, hard to do.
Got a strong arm, too.
Jonah Heim was waiting to hear a strike called out, but it's not. It's ball 1 to Williamson.
I agree with you, Aaron. That is a funky shadow right there. I wonder if it's how much that affects the hitters.
And normally we see the shadow move out straight towards the mound, and it kind of cuts it right in the middle there, left to right across your screen. But this is kind of like a pizza slice out there. 97 away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's amazing when you can lose an upwards of 5 miles an hour on your fastball and it's still 97. That's the case for Jacob deGrom if you go back to his real prime with the Mets.
Yeah, but not one TJ. He's had 2, which is amazing in itself that he can continue to pitch.
And his first Tommy John right after getting drafted by the Mets many years ago. A shutdown inning there from deGrom after his team put 6 across. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 4th. The Mariners fireworks lineup is presented by T-Mobile. There are 6 shows coming to T-Mobile Park this season, starting with K-pop fireworks on Friday, May 30th. Mariners.com/fireworks to get your ticket and see the full slate of fireworks games this year on the schedule. First pitch lands for a strike to Josh Smith, leading things off. Smith's in center field today. He's already played at 7 different positions this year for the Rangers. We saw him at shortstop the other day as Corey Seager was on his way back. You know, last year he has this great versatility, but he didn't play a whole lot all over the place because he was in at third base for so much time, with Josh Young being on the injured list for a majority of the season. So this year he kind of gets to move back to that Dylan Moore super utility role.
I really like him. He can play a lot of different positions, play it well, was arguably their MVP last year. Swings the bats, got some pop.
Well, he's someone you figure at some point will win that utility Gold Glove award. Shallow left field, and it's a base hit. He's 3 for 3 today. A couple of them have been some parachutes out there in left field.
And this is how you hover around the 300 mark all season, like he has done, is just drop this into left field, middle away. Bat was kind of in and out of the zone, but he drops it into left.
Langford to Williamson, over to first base. And they go around the horn for the double play. That erases that leadoff single. Two down, the base is empty for Corey Seager.
Ben Williamson's been doing a really nice job of turning that double play. Something he's been working on with Perry Hill is not to open up the hips once he feels it, but just open up that front foot to second base.
Well combated, drops in for a base hit. 2-hit day for Corey Seager. Well, people inside the ballpark today are saying, where has this been? 6 runs on 10 hits so far this afternoon. Mariners have already secured a series win. They won the first 2 games. So that's 8 consecutive series wins for the Mariners. In steps Jack Peterson. Peterson ropes this down the line. It is a foul ball.
Game revenges, Jock. Game revenges. This guy's like, I cannot buy a hit, nothing. Everyone else is getting
talking
hits.
about it.
Yeah, they're flaring balls in, broken bats, and I can't get nada.
Watch his reaction. Let's go. No. Okay.
That would have put him on. That would have been his first home run on the year. And he's and what they're paying this guy. Oh my goodness.
That was like, I quit this game. I mean, just what do I have to do? Start living right, Jock. Start living right.
Give back a lot of money is what he'd have to do.
2 outs and a man on.
I don't know if the Rangers would complain about that. Oh,
Strike 3. Oh,
sorry.
I almost feel sorry for him.
Oh, man.
For a second.
Wow. That'll do it through 4. The Rangers have the lead.
Welcome back to the Ford Sports Desk. Brad, Adam with you. Leo Rivas leads off the top of the 5th inning, and we talked with Dan again pregame about Leo and the quality of at-bats. And remember, he's always going to have a soft spot in his heart, Dan is, for Leo, because Leo had the game-winning walk-off RBI single, T-Mobile Park against the Giants last year in Dan's managerial debut. So happy for that, and certainly happy for the way he's swinging the bat so far, guys.
Well, if you're any manager to get a walk-off win in your first game as a big league skipper, what a thrill. And that was the case for Dan Wilson. Courtesy of Leo Rivas.
And I had forgotten that Leo was the person that did that. But to your point, Aaron, not Dan. I mean, he remembers that as if it was yesterday and will never forget it.
Pulled foul. 9-1-2 for the Mariners. Their lone run came back in the 3rd inning when Rivas had a 10-pitch at bat. He singled his way aboard, came home on a ground out from Polanco. Towards the gap, Langford having to cover some ground, angling in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Today's T-Mobile coverage cam in Arlington, Texas. Final game of the series. Drone taking you on a trip high above Globe Life Field.
Again, I know that was an out, but the last 2 pitches on Leo right there, 2 great swings, pulls the ball down the line foul, and then turns around and drives the ball the other way right there. And a nice play by Langford to run it down, but great AB, even though he got nothing to show for it.
And I think that's a real big focus of the Mariners. It's not about the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing shallow right there. I thought it was going to get over his head. So
fastball middle in, 1 ball and 1 strike. JP falls behind. You know, for DeGrom, he's been with the Rangers now for 3 seasons. This is 3rd year after signing that 5-year free agent deal. It's only his 16th start as a Ranger. And he gets the strikeout to J.P. Crawford. 2 outs. DeGrom had to get his 2nd Tommy John very early on in his first year with the Rangers. He made just 3 starts.
So he was a 102 guy before he got his first Tommy John, right?
No, that's the interesting thing. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to, other than he's just a freak, because you look at his velocity. He won the Rookie of the Year with the Mets, and he was a good pitcher, but he was not throwing in even the upper 90s. And year by year, the velocity kept going up and kept going up and kept going up. And unfortunately, it got to a part, and I don't know how much of this is the velo or the spin, you know, throwing sliders at 95 miles an hour, but he couldn't stay healthy, right? That was the issue for DeGrom. Well, the Rangers gave him 5 years, and then he had to get his 2nd Tommy John.
You go back to 96 miles per hour that he was throwing in 2018. Also was thrown 96 in 2019. But that's when things started going up. 98, 99 in 2021. And he has said he doesn't really want to try to, get his velo up that high again, where he blows out because basically nobody comes back from 3 Tommy Johns. So he's understanding the assignment.
96 freezes Polanco, and since he's been given the lead, he's been knocking him down one by one. 6-1 Texas. It's not too late to come on aboard with the Mariners Flex membership. You can catch the biggest moments at T-Mobile Park this summer and enjoy exclusive perks like no ticket fees. Scan the QR code you see right here or go to mariners.com/flex. Marcus Semien leads it off. Jay, I did not know that you had Tommy John.
I did. I had Tommy John. Yeah, kind of a freaky deal. Dove for a ball in the outfield in Chicago and came up, tried to throw the guy out going from second to third, and felt like hot water was being poured on my hand. And I went in and told our trainer Rick Griffin. I said, "Hey, something's weird. I just dove for that ball. I got a twinge in my elbow. Feels like, really weird on my fingertips. Hot water." And he grabbed my arm and did the whole. And it went. He goes, "Well, that's not good, bud." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I think you blew your ACL out." I'm like, "What does that mean?" He goes, "It means you're done." So, yeah, I know what these guys go through. It's a long road. It's a long haul. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of dedication. It tests you because you do not feel like you're part of the team as much as you're in uniform trying to be out there. So, but these guys come back now. That's why I was bringing up the topic with DeGrom. These guys come back throwing harder. I came back. I didn't lose any velocity on my throwing. So that's probably why, because he's going to be doing Job exercises, what they call Job exercises for life, and it just builds up. It's the muscle balance all the way around your shoulder. Can't help but throw stronger.
But for him, he realizes also that he was so effective in 2018 and 2019 when he was throwing 96, and his ability with his slider that's just absolutely ridiculous, his changeup. So he has said he is intentionally really just trying to throw at 96, and then every once in a while when he needs it to reach to 97, maybe 98. But he doesn't want to live there.
Getting older, becoming a pitcher, getting a little bit smarter, knowing your body.
Well, Heim drops to a knee, comes up empty on that swing and a miss. 2-1. Now Rangers have their bullpen up as DeGrom is pacing around the dugout. Center cut fastball that time. 2-2. Bochy has Jacob Webb warming. DeGrom at 89 pitches. Remember, the Mariners made him throw 30 pitches in the 3rd inning. Ground ball up the middle. And Heim is aboard for the 2nd time.
And in his last start rather, I should say, about DeGrom, his pitch count was really in good shape. It was at 65 pitches, but because his offense had exploded for 8 runs and it took nearly an hour in the bottom of the 6th inning, they decided to pull him.
1 out and 1 on for Adolis Garcia. Jumps out of the way of that one. 4-1. Inside again.
Love to see this kid grind through it and get through 5 right here. Save your bullpen a little bit if you can.
And he really rebounded well in the 4th inning after what we saw in the 3rd.
Casey Legumina warming up.
Regardless of the outcome of this game, it's you win or you get better. You learn from these outings if you're Logan Evans.
Time called. 3-2. Fouls it right back to the glove of Cal Raleigh. There is out number 2.
That a boy. He'll grind through that at bat right there. Come all the way back.
Bone, I got to tell you, you got something in common with Logan Evans that I've picked up on today.
What's that?
You guys are turtleneck brothers. You guys are turtleneck brothers. Come on now.
Man, come on.
Short sleeve turtleneck.
I mean,
It's making a comeback.
it is.
Danny was rocking it not too long ago.
Yeah, so
the old school Majestic even.
Yeah, so Dan had a turtleneck on the opening homestand. And
I think it was 1995
well, that's
or
the thing,
1990
right?
or something.
I haven't seen a Mariners turtleneck produced any time in the last decade.
How about the Dickies? You remember those?
And I asked Dan, he said, yeah, it's in the closet. Still fits. Tellez looking up into the sky, and he
Still
makes the
fits.
catch.
That's the key,
isn't
buddy.
it?
Yes, sir.
Scoreless fifth after 5. Rangers in front. Rangers lead as we go to the top of the 6th. Earlier, Angie had a chance to catch up with Jay Buhner and talk about his 300th career home run.
Ken Griffey Jr., your old pal. Does that make it even more special, or just? I mean, 300 to hit 300 is just a phenomenal feat itself, but to be the only second person to do it in a franchise, that's amazing.
Again, it just it's nice to have been able to stick around for have the longevity that I've been able to have, been able to stick with basically what I consider one team my whole career. Sure, I broke in with the Yankees a little bit, but I've came over and it's been 12 great years, and you know, you never know what's going to happen after this year, and I'm just grateful, and I can't say enough. It is a very emotional. The more you think about it, the more choked up you get about it. So I'm looking forward to going and spending some time with my family. It was great to be able to do it here in front of the fans. It's great to do it in New Safeco Field. Who would ever thought that we'd have a great ballpark like this after everything we've gone through with this organization? And the biggest thing, the biggest thrill for me is to be able to do it in front of my kids and my family.
Boy, you can't beat that great audio, can you?
You don't even
And that-
sound
and
like
that-
the
and the
same
hairdo
person. Your
and-
voice.
Yeah.
I guess
little
mine
red
too,
in,
but-
little red in my goat. Yeah, I got a little choked up watching that myself right there, bringing back fond memories. Checking out your hairdo, and you rocking it, girl.
That was my Sleepless in Seattle Meg Ryan phase. That
It
kind
was.
of went through.
That was, wasn't it? Wasn't that the hot deal back then? Yeah.
Oh, that was. They wouldn't show me the video. They would not show me that interview.
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Really?
Seriously, yeah. I mean, you
And
think
you-
when you hit your 300, you'd have that or kind of tucked away somewhere, the flashback show to the grandkids and all that. So send that to me so I can rock that to the grandkids when I get home tonight.
Julio leading things off. Webb is in the game now. DeGrom is done after 5.
And you have kind of a little bit become a softie over the years. I'm
Always
not gonna
have,
lie.
always have been. I hide behind that that scowl, that goat. That's our security blanket. Oh yeah.
Well, we appreciate you you dropping the curtain a little bit more nowadays.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Julio. Smith in center field today. 1 away.
And going back to what you talked about, Aaron, I was rocking the turtleneck right
Yeah, there you're right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Bring it back.
You know what's funny about that is we noticed in spring training that there were some Mariner minor leaguers who were up in big league games in camp who were wearing Mariner turtlenecks.
That's awesome. Somebody must have found an old box somewhere tucked away. But I'd love to see the stirrups come back, the old school stuff. Bring back a old school game or something. Turn back the clock.
Well, can I tell you where they came from? So Colt Emerson, who's one of the Mariners, one of the top prospects in baseball, he went on eBay and he bought a Mariners turtleneck from just some guy. Ty Pete, former first-round draft pick, same draft class in that first round as Emerson, he did the same thing, and the person that Ty Pete bought the turtleneck from knew that he was a Mariners minor leaguer and wrote him a note saying, Hi, hope you enjoy the turtleneck. Go Mariners.
Wow.
Out towards Garcia in right field.
So now did the turtleneck come with the sleeves already cut off,
so the funny
or
thing
was
is-
this something they had to do?
Or
Well, the funny thing is, first of all, these are ancient turtlenecks.
that's what I was
right?
going to say. Does it come with the smells and all the other things? And what did they pay for it?
Probably not much.
Okay.
Colton
All right.
Emerson cut the sleeves off because it's a size too small for him. So he just he
Did
took
you put a little
oh,
slit in
yeah,
the
a
back of
little
the
muscle
neck
shirt.
too? Like-
So he made it like a dickie, like
Yeah,
the
he-
old school.
he took what was available online. Logan
That's
Evans.
awesome.
Evans has rocked the turtleneck for a long time.
Well, like I said, I got a few of those in one of my old Mariner bags somewhere.
He's also rocking the specs, by the way, and he has since high school. So we've got the turtleneck and the specs. He's got some drip.
Rosarena walking away from that one, takes a strike, 2-1.
I haven't seen him do that in a while. He's kind of famous for doing that.
He's done it a few. Yeah, you're
Did
right.
that a few twice in an AB, and then what did he do the next pitch?
Hey, last year he did it
yeah.
3 times and then homered.
Yep. Oh, paint.
Yeah, we asked Randy last year about when he takes a step back as the pitch is coming in, and he said if he decides he's not going to swing no matter what, then
Try to distract the pitcher by stepping back late.
hit hard on a line into left field. Now Rosarena, a
See, it
2-out
worked.
single.
There you
A
go.
28-game on-base streak for Rosarena to continue to extend his career long.
Right on cue.
But I don't think we really became any clear on his mindset in regards to when he does it.
Well, if he knows he's Jay, maybe you can speak to this. There are times where he just knows he's not going to swing at this pitch no matter what, and he says in those instances he just
No, I don't know that.
That
I
starts
didn't
walking
know
away.
because if it was dead red and I let it go for a strike down, I'm like, no, what are you doing, meathead?
And even if I was going to take the pitch, I'd still want to see it all the way in.
I'd track it, absolutely. But, you know, he's going to continue to keep doing it because he's just got a knock right there. So, and he's hit a home run this year. And no, this game's too hard, Aaron, to be taking pitches. I didn't like to hit with 2 strikes too much.
ball and a strike to Rowdy Tellez. 2 outs and a man aboard. And that's the Mariners' first hit since the 3rd inning. Simeon backs up a step onto first base to retire the side. Rosarena stranded. Today's Northwest Chevy Silverado drive of the game. We take you down to the farm. How about Lázaro Montes, who has had a monster start to the season and another home run for one of the Mariners' top prospects. He's a big man.
That is some lift and separate right there, isn't it?
It is great to see Johnny Farmelo back on the field, as Farmelo had to miss some time last year, a significant ACL tear. So Johnny Farmelo, another first-round draft pick for the Mariners. And then Colt Emerson, part of that first-round draft class by the M's a couple of seasons ago. Emerson going deep. Keeping that helmet on.
Pretty good kid right there. He's pretty special.
New pitcher for the Mariners. Logan Evans is done for the day. Casey Legamina is up on the mound. You had a chance to talk and spend some time with Colt Emerson in spring training?
I did. In spring training a little bit during the Fan Fest, late March. Good kid, got a good head on his shoulder, got Montes. They have a bright future. Bright future. This organization, minor leagues, is pretty stacked. Some
Well, I
great
think-
athletes.
Yeah, and we saw for so many years, you know, these just amazingly talented pitchers. And then all of a sudden now we're just seeing that next wave of position players on their way.
A lot of athletes, a lot of shortstops that can do a lot of different things. You can move them to the outfield if you wanted.
Oh, Cal
So that was a ricochet off the hit by pitch, huh?
coming out to take a look at him. Does not look very pleasant.
Poor guy's getting beat up today alone. A little cross up and now that.
Cal says he's all right. For the Ford Sports Desk, Brad, what do you have for us?
Aaron, hey, top of the 6th inning, after Randy Rosarena singled, I noticed he was stretching, kind of moving around gingerly at first base. He comes in after the end of that inning, and Dan and the trainers huddled around him. He went underneath, tried to come back out, but they said, no, don't worry about it. Ryland Thomas is out there in left field right now, so I'm not sure what exactly happened to Randy, but obviously something enough to get him out of the game.
Well, hopefully nothing too serious there. Hopefully just precautionary.
Looks like he was trying to stretch out his right hamstring or something. Maybe something got tight on him.
2 balls, no strikes to Smith with a man on.
Better safe than sorry. Long season. Don't want that to linger. It's a smart move. Danny Boy not taking any chances.
Williamson angling out. Crawford has the better play on it. He makes the catch. 1 out, 1 on. That brings up Wyatt Langford. Langford went to college as a catcher, moved to the outfield after his freshman year at Florida.
Pretty smart move, wouldn't you think?
It worked out well for
Especially
him.
with his wheels. That's part of his game.
And he sounded like he got hit.
Ooh.
And it was off the bat.
You hate taking a strike like that.
Went off the knob.
Yep.
Boy. Too close to those fingers and knuckles right there. That could be bad.
Well, Langford was drafted 4th overall out of Florida. He was the 2nd highest Gator to ever be selected in the draft, behind Mike Zunino. Mariners took Zunino 3rd overall back in 2012. Tries to check. Two balls and a strike. He's able to hold back.
Yeah, this kid wasted no time getting his way up to the big leagues and staying, has he?
Count evens. I mean, it was a remarkable rise. He played in 4 different levels in one season after being drafted. Went right into pro ball and finished at AAA. Played in 44 minor league games before starting on opening day a couple of years ago.
An indication of his speed. His first career home run was an inside the Parker.
That's a fun memory.
No savoring it.
Yeah, you're right. Earned that one. Krim at first base after being hit by the pitch. Full count to Langford. Ball 4. So a hit batter and a walk in this inning.
How to change the way you pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Order the fan favorite cowboy pizza right now at papamurphys.com.
Visit out to the mound.
Maybe just a reminder about Corey Seager's want, need, and desire to swing at that first pitch.
5-run Rangers lead, bottom of the 6th inning. Seager's had a productive day, couple of base hits he's driven into. Goes after the first pitch on a line out to left field. Ryland Thomas makes the catch. 2 outs.
And even though that was on a line drive, Jay, Ryland Thomas did a really nice job of getting around it and getting his momentum going towards third base, just in case there was any thought of tagging.
He got some speed out there, for sure. And again, first pitch hacking. These guys are not wasting any time.
Here's Jock Peterson. Jock was robbed of a base hit on a terrific catch by J.P. Crawford. He nearly hit his first home run as a Ranger, but pulled it just foul. And then moments later got rung up on a strike 3 call that was just in and off the plate. And goes around on that swing, and it's 0-2.
And like that, he's 0-2. It's like, oh my goodness, it just continues.
He calls for time.
Just to prolong the agony.
2 outs, first and second. Fights this off. That was well up there. He sails it out to center field. That was a aggressive swing by Jock Peterson. It's out number 3. Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Washington Traffic Safety Commission. Always drive sober and wear your seatbelt. We all play a role in keeping our roads safe. And by your local Buick GMC. See your Northwest GMC dealer. Roof open for the second straight game here at Globe Life Field. Final game of the series. Mariners trailing. Strike 1 to Mastroboni leading things off. Bobby Milner getting loose. 20 pitches for Webb. He took over in the 6th inning. DeGrom went 5. Good take just down and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Williamson on deck. On the ground at first base. A little flip. And there is out number 1. Perry Hill, Mariners infield coach, one of the best in the game from nearby Hurst, Texas. It's only about 20 minutes northwest of here. Hurst known probably more than anything for making helicopters. Bell Helicopters is located there. Perry, you know, everybody calls him Bone. Even some of the Mariners coaches have a hat that is a black hat with a white dog bone on the front of it. This is chopping softly over to third. And there is out number 2. Perry got his nickname Bone as a young little boy in Hurst, Texas when he was 6, 7, 8 years old. Every Saturday night, Perry's family would have a fried chicken dinner. He said that fried chicken was his dad's favorite food. His aunt would drive up to Hurst. She would make the fried chicken every Saturday night. And after the meal was over with, Perry would always take one of the chicken bones and hold on to it. He'd walk around the house
gnawing on it.
Even after there was nothing left on it, just holding the bone. And his family thought that was a little odd. But it was something Perry did. He was just a kid. So they let him do it. One night he had a friend come over after the chicken dinner, and they both enjoyed the fried chicken, and they were going to go in the backyard and play catch for a little while. And Perry took the bone in the hand. Again, a completely bare chicken bone, been cleaned thoroughly. And his dad said, "What are you doing with the chicken bone?" He said, I just want to hold it for a little bit as we clean up the kitchen before we go outside and play catch. And of course, his friend was seeing this for the first time, and unlike his family who'd been used to it, his friend thought this was really weird. And so on Monday, when all the kids went to school and there was Perry and there was his friend started calling him Chicken Bone, Chicken Bone. And as you can imagine, it only took a couple of days to shorten that just to Bone. And he has had the name Bone ever since he was just a 7 or 8 year old kid in Hurst, Texas, all because of fried chicken dinners on a Saturday night here in the Metroplex. Who would have known?
By the way, one, I know that's not how you got your nickname, the Bone. And two, I've just been begging Kevin Martinez to do a commercial with the Bone and Bone. I mean, this writes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Rivas into center field, and there is the final out of the inning. Well, nicknames can really stick with you. Make sure you get a good one. There he is, Perry Hill, one of the best. We'll keep it right here for God Bless America.
Will you please rise and direct your attention down the third baseline and welcome back Tim Urban. Tim will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, them that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the oceans white with snow. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Imagine going to spring training in sunny Arizona with Mariners scratch from Washington's lottery. You can win the grand prize and be out of here with a trip to Arizona for 2026 spring training. Inside the concourse here at Globe Life Field. 6-1 Rangers beginning the last of the 7th. Our Beacon Plumbing call to the pin. Bizzardo is on to pitch for the Mariners.
And a time and a space that is the Mariners bullpen. We see so many pitchers leading with that fastball. Instead, he throws nearly 50% slider. Every once in a while can get a little wild with the walks.
Simeon out to the gap. Ryland Thomas going over there, covering some ground and making the catch. A couple of impressive catches from Thomas out there since coming into the game. To the Ford Sports Desk, Brad.
While we just saw that nice catch from Ryland Thomas, I did have an interesting conversation with the man in front of me, Christopher Negron, who's the Mariners third base and outfield coach, about the revolving door out in right field. You know, you lose Robles and Raley, and 4 other guys have kind of filled in seamlessly. He mentioned that all those guys that he had in spring training, so there wasn't like a big learning curve that they had to go through a bunch of drills and stuff. These guys know what they're doing. He said really the hardest thing for Mastrobuoni, a guy who's playing today, predominantly an infielder, is just the throws. Like, you know, which base to throw to, the cutoff man, try to get more a little bit over the top. He also said that they had a fun game between the outfielders and himself. They do drills pregame. If they mess up, the outfielders got to drop down and give them 5 push-ups. Now, if they do something well, like that Thomas catch, or if they have an assist, then Negron's got to give him 5 push-ups. And the thing is, guys, it could be anytime, anywhere. So he said that he has actually had to do it in the dugout right after an outfield assist issue. He's had to do that once, but normally it's the next day where during batting practice you drop and give 5. I'd like to see Jay give 5 in a dugout. That'd be kind of fun.
That seems like something you'd be comfortable doing, Jay.
Not bad. I still work out, baby.
And by the way, that kind of gives me an idea of why Negron's filling out that uniform so well, because the outfield is so good. He's been having to do a lot of push-ups.
I'd like to see him go out on warning track right there and give 5.
I saw him drop down and do push-ups the other day when the outfield was doing drills, and I was like, what was that all about? It was a catch that Julio made. He just, boom, dropped down, 5 push-ups.
Well, he was out here first game in, first day, and was getting some work in down that right field line, and it paid off. He made a heck of a catch the first day down there with no room for error.
You know, we talk all the time and kind of assumed how much preparation goes into the game for the players, but we don't always think about the coaches with that. And when the Mariners were on their last road trip in Boston, we were talking to Christopher Negron before the game about some reads as a third base coach. This goes right back to the breadbasket to Bizzardo, and he showed us on his phone video that he had clipped already to show the outfielders and show the base runners certain situations. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and he had it ready right away. After 7, the Rangers have the lead. Well, if you're looking for some Mother's Day plans, you can bring mom out to T-Mobile Park on Sunday, May 11th. Mariners are celebrating with a clear purse giveaway available to the first 10,000 moms, courtesy of Muckleshoot Casino Resort. You can get your tickets at mariners.com. Hobie Milner, which is a very good left-handed pitcher name, is up on the mound. He will work the 8th, facing J.P. Crawford to begin things. J.P. into shallow left field. Langford is there. Hey, some good news on the rehab front for the Mariners. George Kirby in Las Vegas today. 1 hit, 1 run over 3 innings, no walks and 4 strikeouts. 42 pitches. Got up to 98 with the fastball.
Whoa.
That is really good news.
So now they expand him out next time to 4 or 5 innings. Are they going 1 more each time, you think?
I would doubt they would get to 5 on the next one,
Yeah.
but 4 seems well within reach.
98's a good sign. Now see if he bounces back really good.
Been on the injured list all year, dealing with the shoulder issue. Garver batting for Polanco here with a lefty up on the mound.
I really do continue to marvel at the Mariners' resiliency with all of the injuries that they have been able to just overcome. I mean, 11-3, you know, this one doesn't look very good, but 11-3 against their division, continuing to win series.
Well, they've won 8 consecutive series. They are atop the American League, the best record in the league. It's the first time the Mariners can say that on May 3rd or later since 2003. Off the plate, ball 4, something Garver's done quite a bit of this year. He draws a 1-out walk. Castillo on the mound last night, his 2nd straight quality start. Here is Julio. The way you look at it right now on the rehab front for the Mariners, if things go according to plan, at some point before this month is over with, you will have George Kirby and Logan Gilbert back.
Demo not too far off.
Firmly on the ground to Seager. And a double play ball. And that ends the inning. Milner faces the minimum in the scoreless 8th. Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Warrior Injury Law. Injured? Call attorney Rob Iddens at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law, battle tested. And by T-Mobile, with America's largest 5G network, T-Mobile is your ticket to the game. Beautiful day here in North Texas. Mid-70s, the temperature, roof is open. Rangers in front as we begin the bottom of the 8th inning. And Bizzardo on for his 2nd inning of work. 2 balls and a strike. 8, 9, and 1 for the Rangers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Leadoff walk. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 6-1 Rangers, leadoff man aboard. Prim takes what's soon called a strike. After this one's over with, the Mariners are off to Sacramento, our first trip there to play the Athletics this year. Athletics are playing really well. They're 19 and 16, second place in the division. They are wrapping up their series. Get this, right now, actually they just got in the books. They won. They scored a run in the 9th inning to beat the Marlins in Miami. Point being, they are flying from Miami to Sacramento to face the Mariners tomorrow.
Ugh. Nice scheduling.
How about that?
Come on, MLB. You can't mess that up, can you?
So no day off for the A's after a cross-country trip. A's were walked off yesterday by the Marlins. Mason Miller gave up a grand slam.
That's shocking. He only throws a million.
Prim strikes out.
They are exciting to watch. They got great young ball club. They can swing it. They've always been known for developing pitching a lot like the Mariners. This year they are slugging it. What was that? Put them 4 games over 500, I believe. Pretty close to that.
3 games, close enough.
3. Who's counting?
1 on for Josh Smith. And that'll be an interesting series. Mariners split a 4-gamer with the Athletics to begin the season. One and two. Speaking of the schedule, this doesn't impact the Mariners. The Mariners already saw the Marlins. They won a series against Miami on the homestand recently, but the Marlins are now in a stretch of playing 45 straight games outside of their division. Can you believe that? 45 consecutive games outside the National League East. And they won't play a game against a division foe until mid-June.
It makes no sense. Well, you guys don't play the Rangers again for a while, right? You don't play them till sometime in June, is that right?
So there are fewer division games now, right now, that everyone is playing everyone else every season. So it does shave off a little bit of your play within your own division. Got to make up those games somewhere.
I'm interested to see the ballpark in Sacramento. Heard about how it's playing. I mean, the A's haven't had much of a home field advantage there. Their ERA at home is well over 5 and much better on the road.
(3-2). This is a fair ball, tiptoes the line, and it kicks off the wall in right field. Young is racing around. Meanwhile, that ball dies out there, and Smith pedals into third. He's in there with an RBI triple.
Angie, we were talking earlier about the outfield and the coaches coming out and working with the guys and the nooks and crannies and the crazy bounces and hops, and this one right here, I bet you could go out there and hit a small bucket and not have it do that right there.
Exactly. If it would have hit just 2 feet over, it would have hit the 45-degree angle of that fence and kicked out. Miles was expecting it to do that, and instead it hits the one little part of the fence out there where it bounces straight back towards the infield.
Barely hits the first base bag. The crazy thing is, if he doesn't cut, he's got to cut that off in case it goes down the wall.
Straightaway center field, plenty deep. Sacrifice fly by Langford brings home Smith. It's an 8-1 Rangers lead.
That's the first time the Rangers, have scored outside of that, crazy third inning. The Mariners pitching has really done a nice job of shutting them down, except that one inning. Of course, you don't get to exclude the third inning, but really done a nice job.
And that was a 6-run, 11-batter third inning. Rivas to his right, and Seager is out on the first pitch. That does it for 8 innings out of the 9th. Mariners trailing 8-1. Don't miss your chance to take home the Randy Arozarena bobblehead given away this year. This exclusive collectible with Randy sporting his iconic crossed arm pose. Available at all 3 games against the Nationals May 27th to the 29th. Mariners.com to pick up your tickets. Rangers closer Luke Jackson is on to get the final 3 outs. He hasn't pitched yet this month. It's been a while. So they're trying to just.
I was going to say they're going to make sure they get a win, huh?
They're just trying.
It's been a while.
He hasn't pitched since April 30th. Cal Raleigh leads it off for the Mariners. Cal calls for time. Well, the Mariners down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 7. Still got the series win here in Arlington for the Mariners.
Really, Aaron, I think that's the takeaway. I mean, that's the goal, is to continue to win series. The Mariners, check that box yesterday. Obviously, you'd love to sweep, but if you continue to just win series, you look up, and you're where the Mariners are right now. That's what they've been able to do.
Ryland Thomas batting in a Arozarena spot. Thomas picked up his first major league hit in this series, made his major league debut. That was in game 1.
And I talked to him after he picked up that first major league hit, a double, and asked him what he did. He said he gave the ball to his dad, and he said, "Dad, this is, after all, not for me, it's for you."
Very cool. 2 outs. That brings up Rowdy Tellez. Now, Rangers fans have waited a long time to see their offense break out like they did today. Strike 1. Mariners have played so well in the division early on this year. A very important series win within the West for the M's. Tomorrow, Bryce Miller on the mound against the Athletics in game 1. And Luis Severino, the A's opening day starter, will counter. Should be some warm weather those 3 days in Sacramento. Nothing in 2 on Tellez. Hancock will go in game 2, and Brian Wu, who was really had some dominance over Bay Area teams, his hometown right there outside of Oakland, right there in Oakland, I should say, will go in the finale. Just missing the corner, 2-2. Full count to Tellez. Only run of this game for the Mariners came way back in the 3rd inning. They took a 1-0 lead early. It was an RBI ground up by Polanco. It's been all Rangers since. First time they've led in this series. That's the ball game. The Rangers win it 8-1. Today certainly did not go as the Mariners had hoped, Jay, but nevertheless, they take 2 games out of 3. Their series winning streak continues here in Arlington, and it's on to Sacramento now.
Ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw today, but a lot of highlights for the Mariners these 3 games against the Rangers.
Jay, it's been great having you. We'll see you in what, a couple or few weeks in Houston?
I'll see you in H-Town, baby. Looking forward to it. Safe travels to you guys, and thanks for letting me be a